Diary of a Special Needs Mom. My name is Modupe, and in today's live video, I want to share 23 years and 23 lessons that motherhood and faith has taught me in this journey. And so during the course of the week, our son turned 23. And as I look back on the journey with gratitude, I began to look at the journey. The journey has not been easy. It has been filled with all sorts of different reactions, gratitude, faith, strength, prayer, tears, and it has been mixed. Has been a mixed reaction during the course of this journey. And tonight, I want to just share with us 23 lessons that I have learned. And I'm here to share with you because Diary of a Special Needs Mom is a platform where we share experience, where we grow together, and to build a community whereby we're able to help other mothers, other families, other fathers who are walking this journey. And when we talk about special needs, it could be anything. It could be intellectual disability, it could be autism, it could be cerebral palsy, it could even be physical challenge, as long as it is something that stands as a disability, as long as it's something that doesn't make your life smooth as other families or other children without this disability. So I'm here to just share some of my lessons that I have learned during the course of this year. My son is 23. I give God praise. I'm grateful to God for where we are currently. Where we are 23 years down the line is not where we started from. I think that if I had a platform like this when we started the journey 23 years ago, I'm sure that my journey would have been easier because it was something that came as a shock. It was something that came without much understanding, without even any understanding. It was during the course of the journey that I started reading, I started taking courses, and that has really, really helped. So this video is here to encourage somebody, to help somebody to navigate this journey, which can be lonely for parents, mothers, the caregivers, and even the families as well. So I'm sharing 23 lessons. Thank you so much, Isagi. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Please, as you join, let me know where you're watching from. My name is Modupe. This is Diary of a Special Needs Mom. Thank you so much. Hi. Hello. Thank you for joining me. My name is Modupe. So I want to talk about the 23 lessons that I have learned during the course of the journey. My son was diagnosed with autism, so he's on the autism spectrum, and how we have been able to manage and navigate this journey. Please let me know where you're watching from. Please, as you join, share as well, like, and please subscribe. This will help the channel to grow and also to help families with children with special needs, with one form of disability or another. So the first lesson I have learned during this 23 years of our journey is that every child is special. Every child is unique, whether that child has a disability or not, whether that child has a special need or not. Each child is special. Each child is unique. Each child is an expression of God's love. So a child with disability, a child with special needs is not a mistake. That child wasn't born by accident. Even if you as the parent or people around feel that that child is, oh, what kind of child is this? What kind of thing is this? What kind of life is this? I want to encourage you. I want to tell you that that child is not a mistake. That child is not an accident. 23 years down the line, I can say that our son is not an accident. I can say that our son is not a mistake. Our son is an expression of God's love. He's an expression of God's beauty, of God's diversity. So that's the first lesson I have learned. The second lesson I have learned is that there is always progress. There is always progress, even with children or persons with special needs, with disability. I know that the progress may be very slow. Sometimes the progress is not visible to the eyes. But if you look well, I can assure you, I can tell you that there is always progress. There is always progress. It may not be perfect, but please, whatever progress you see in that child, please celebrate it. When you celebrate, you would have a grateful heart. And when you have a grateful heart, you are able to see the positive side of that situation. When our child was born and the doctors gave the diagnosis, the doctors told us that our son will not be able to see, will not be able to hear, will not be able to do anything. That in fact, our son will be like a vegetable. Because back then he would just lie on the bed, he could not, make eye contact, he could not do anything. But as time went on, I'm going to be sharing the testimonies as we go on this platform. I'm going to share the testimonies, how God did, did things, how we moved from that state of him not being able to do anything. That's the glory of God. Now he's able to move. Now he is able to do some other things. I'm going to share the testimony, but I'm just talking about the 23 lessons. And I can tell you that there is always progress, no matter how small. And I want to encourage you, always celebrate that progress. The third thing I want you to know is that you are never alone. As a mother who has a son who has special needs, the journey sometimes looks lonely. The nights that you are sleepless nights that you are there alone, the nights where you have to be the primary caregiver for your child, whether it's a son, whether it's a daughter. It feels as if you are alone. It feels as if nobody understands, because truly many people don't understand the journey. Many people cannot understand what you go through, whether the things that they see in public, whether the things that happens in private, in the house. Nobody understands. So I want to tell you this evening that you are not alone. Feel fire. Okay, welcome. Thank you so much. Please let me know where you're watching from. And welcome to Diary of a Special Needs Mom. Please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Please share, like. This community is to help other parents, other families, other mothers and fathers, to help them through this journey. Nigeria, thank you so much. I'm also here from Lagos, Nigeria. So please feel free to share to parents that or families who have special needs, because we have to speak up for our children. We have to let people know that because a child has special needs does not mean that that child should be written off. So you are not alone. Even when it feels as if nobody understands what you are going through, you are not alone. And that is why this platform, Diary of a Special Needs Mom, I created this platform so that we can build a community, so that we can share together, so that we can pray together, so that we can encourage one another. So you are not alone. I thank God that I am privileged to have a support system. My parents, thank God for their lives. They've been wonderful to me in this journey. My son's sibling, my husband, and also, family. So you are not alone. I'm here to help you to navigate this journey. I've been on this journey for 23 years. So I can tell you, talk to you about the sleepless nights. I can tell to you about the very many, meltdowns. I can tell you about how the society look, at us, how people stare at us. I can tell you when my son has seizures. I've been through it all. So I have the ability. I can talk to you. I can encourage you. I can tell you that you are not alone. Number 4 lesson that I have learned through this journey is that please, if you need it, always ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Rather, asking for help is a sign of wisdom. It's a sign that, look, yes, you cannot handle this journey alone. It's not something that you can do alone. Sometimes I ask my daughter, please, I need help. I need to take time. I need to sleep. Sometimes, thank God for my parents, like I said, I go over to their place, take some time off, to just rest. So you need to be a community, so that you are not alone, so that you are not tired. Because I can tell you that this journey is not an easy journey. It's not an easy journey. There are nights, that I don't sleep in days. And I still have to wake up and I still have to go to work. So please, when you need it, ask for help. Reach out to us here on this platform. We're able to counsel you. We're able to speak with you. Sometimes all you need to do is to talk to somebody who understands and tells you that, look, it is okay. What you have gone through, I have gone through, and this is how I handle it. So please ask for help. It is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom. The number 5 lesson that I have learned is that as a family, as a person, as a caregiver, find the routine that works for you. There is no one cap that fits the whole fits everybody. What may work for family A might not necessarily work for you. So it's important that you find the routine that works for you. Find that routine, you and your family, and give yourself grace. Give yourself grace whenever it doesn't happen as you planned. Take, for instance, I had been planning my son turned 23 on Wednesday. Today is Saturday. I plan to, come live to share this experience. But since Wednesday to till today, Saturday, I was not privileged. I planned it that I'm going to really do it on the day that he turned 23. But, there were so many things, fatigue and all that. So you need to give yourself grace. You might have planned so many things and it doesn't work out. Don't hit yourself. Don't fight yourself. Don't condemn yourself. Give yourself grace. Even people and parents who have children without any disability take time out to rest. They take time out, to reflect and to think. So how much more you as a mother or as a father who has a special needs child? So look for a routine that works for you. Look for a routine that works with your family, and work with it. So number 6 lesson that I have learned is that I have to be patient with myself. I have to be patient with myself. I am also learning. So you also have to be patient with yourself. You are also learning. It is a journey that you have started. You cannot say, give yourself a time frame and say, okay, by this time, this is what is going to happen. By this time, my son or my daughter will start speaking. We pray, we work, we attend therapies for this. But if it doesn't happen when you plan, please be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because one thing that we do a lot as parents of special needs is that we tend to, fight ourselves. Oh, why is this not working? Why is this thing not happening now? And then we tend to, just beat ourselves. We tend to worry. Please, as a mother who has been on this journey for 23 years, please, I will say to you, be patient with yourself. I was not like this at the beginning. I was not. It was not as easy for me like this as it was. I had to be patient with myself. I had to pray. I had to take time out. Sometimes it may be just 5 minutes from, my routine. Sometimes it's just, just sitting back. Sometimes it's just holding my phone and just, looking for ways of relaxing. But you need to be patient with yourself. Number 7 lesson that I have learned is that you have to look at that child. You have to look at that person with that special needs. Look beyond their disability. Our son is, for now, he's still non-verbal. So I don't look at him with the disability. I don't look at him with the tag of autism. I don't look at him with the tag that, oh, this boy cannot speak yet. Oh, he's 23 years now. He's not doing what his mates are doing. I don't look at him like that. I look beyond it. I see him as a person. I see him as a special person. I see him as a gift from God. So we need to start looking at those children, looking at our children, looking at the adults around us. Look beyond their disability. as we're always told, there is always an ability in that disability. There is something special. And that is why I started with that lesson that, look, that child, that person with disability is unique. He is a gift from God. He is not, or she is not, a mistake. So, number 8 of the lessons that I have learned is that a meltdown from that child is not necessarily a failure. It is not. When that child, has, throw tantrums, when you see him, flapping his hands, not being able to do the things that he wants to do, what we usually call a meltdown. It is not failure on your part or on the part of that child. One thing I have learned is that a meltdown is usually a form of communication from our children. They are trying to communicate and trying to tell us something. For years, if whenever our son will flap his hands, I will always tell him, stop flapping, stop doing that. Or when he's nodding his head, from one side to another, I will always tell him, stop it, stop nodding your head, stop doing it. It was later that I learned that when he's doing that, what we call steaming, we refer to it as steaming. Whenever he's doing that, what he's trying to do is to find comfort. What he's trying to do is he's trying to, stabilize himself. So it is a way of that child communicating to you that something is wrong, that I want so and so. It's a tough journey, but we need to learn that a meltdown, when a child with special needs, whatever meltdown it may be, when they, have meltdowns, they're just upset, for no reason. You see some child hitting their heads on the wall. You see some child beating themselves. You see some child, scratching themselves. It is a form of meltdown, and it is a form of communication. It is not failure on your part or on the part of that child. So please, I want you to know that that is one lesson that I have learned. 23 years of this journey is not a joke. I've taken a diploma and an advanced course for you to understand that I had to learn about it. I needed to know about it. And unfortunately, not even the professionals have all the answers to our children's needs. So we as parents also have to go, a step further. And that is why Diary of a Special Needs is here to encourage you, to teach you, to help you to navigate this journey. So please subscribe, please like, please share to other parents. We want to grow together. We want to help them to navigate this journey. Number 9 lesson is that learn about your child's condition. Don't let it define you. Learn about there's so many superstitious beliefs when they see a child who cannot speak, when they see a child who has cerebral palsy, who is on the wheelchair. There's so many explanations. And as a parent, maybe you are a grandparent, maybe you are a parent, please know a little about it. Because knowing about you will help you to navigate the journey. That is another lesson that I have learned. Learn about the child's condition, but don't let it define your child. Don't let it define even yourself or your family. Number 10 lesson is that every stage of your child's life brings new lessons. Oh, I can tell you for sure that every stage brings lesson. Sometimes financial lessons, sometimes spiritual lessons, sometimes emotional lessons, but there is always a lesson to learn from at every point of your child's life. So you need to be open. You need to be able to see beyond that condition for you to see that indeed there is a lesson to be learned. Then another one, number 11 lesson that I have learned is that it's okay to give the things that you have hoped for. It's okay when those things do not occur, when they do not happen. It's okay to say, oh, I wish that this boy could be this. I wish that this boy could be that. I know sometimes, I was able to go out of it more. I remember there was a day that my son is 23, like I said, and his mates, children that were born around that area, around that season, when they got admission into the university, my husband just was like, oh, if there was nothing wrong with Oluwatoni, Oluwatoni too should be, entering the university. And for me, it was a reality. But for me, I did not, get stuck in it. And thank God he also was able to move past it and, say, go, God, whatever it is, as we're helping your son, Oluwatoni, with therapies and do things, we trust that, all things for him and for us, everything will end in praise. And that is the attitude. And we have a grateful, heart to God concerning this. So number 12 is that don't lose yourself. As a caregiver, you are also a person. You are not just a mother with a child with special needs. You're not just a father with a child with special needs. You are a person as well. God created you for a purpose. There is a reason for you being as well. So don't give up yourself and wallow in self-pity and wallow that is the end of your life. No. Even when I had my child, I have been able to, do other things and get other degrees and be able to, fulfill my calling. That is another story for another time. But all I just want to say is that don't put yourself in a self-pity. Don't bring yourself to a pity party and feel that, no, everything is over. Everything is not over. Even with that child with special needs, you are special. There is something about you. There is a calling concerning your life. And I'm going to encourage you to please be the best, even in that challenge, even with that special needs, be the best. So another lesson, which is number 13, is that, look, some days will be exceptionally tough. There are some days that, I can tell you that I'm just like, God, what happened? Who unleashed hell, today? Because from waking up to, morning, in the night, in the afternoon, everything was just like, like that. But I can tell you that those tough days don't last. They don't last. Even in the toughness, even in the tough times, you can still find joy. You will still find joy. And that is why you have to have a grateful, have a heart full of gratitude, that even in this thing, there is joy. Even in this thing, it shall end in praise. So you take each day as it comes, trusting God and believing that there is something for each day. You might not know what it is, but I can assure you that there is something for each day. So number 14 is that little things matter. Eye contact, your child, making eye contact with you, your child, smiling, your child, sleeping through a difficult night. It's something you should appreciate. They matter. See them and thank God for it and hold on to it. That, Father, I thank you for today. Today, this is how, things are. Celebrate each milestone. Celebrate something new in your child. Number 15 is that please build a support circle. Even if it's just one good friend, even if it's just one member of your family, or even if it is here, even if it's Modupe on Diary of a Special Needs Mom, I'm always here. You can chat with me. You can speak with me. I'm always available. Just send a message to me. Send a chat to me. I'll help you. It's a journey that we're here together. Another thing, number 16, is that advocacy is love in action. Speak up for your child. Even if your voice shakes, speak up for the child. What I'm doing is also a form of advocacy. I'm speaking up for our child. Even people who are not parents with special needs, I'm speaking to them for people to have empathy for our children. Don't just look and stare. You see a parent or a mother who has difficulty, taking the child across the street, help. You see the mother trying to carry, maybe groceries or something and still has that child, help. So it is all form of advocacy to people who don't understand that, look, this is the reality of certain people. Help them, empathize. Don't ask, questions that will make them feel as if they had done something to have, the child with the special needs. And then another thing I want to say, number 17, is that don't compare. Comparison kills joy. So focus on your child's path. not on another. I usually will focus on my son Oluwatoni's path. Thank God for it. See what I need to do, encourage him. And that is how the journey has been. So comparison, don't compare, oh, see that child with special needs. These children are unique in their own rights and they have different milestone. Another one, number 18, is that reset when you need to. You can't pour from an empty cup. That is what I said. This video I should have done on Wednesday, but I was, tired, so many things. And I knew that coming out to show up on that day will not help. So if you have to, please reset, give yourself time to rest. You cannot give out anything from an empty cup. Number 19 is that God's timing may be different. God's timing is usually different from our timing. We have all these goals, we plan, oh, by this time, my son or my daughter should be this, should be that. It may not occur like that. And when it doesn't happen like that, you have not failed. That child has not failed. God who created that child has a different timing. In his time, as I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, he says he makes all things beautiful. So I'll talk more on that in another video. So number 20 is that God's grace shows up in smallest ways. Never miss it. A call, somebody calling you. I remember there was a particular day I was just tired and all. And somebody just called me. Somebody from the US just called me and said, look, I just want to pray with you. I just want to encourage you. I just want to say that, look, you're doing a good job. And for me, that particular day, all I needed was that. And from there, I was able to, start reboot myself and then move on again. So God always, God's grace always shows up, even in the little, smallest way. It shows up. And I want to encourage you, as a special needs mom or dad or uncle or aunt or even a sibling, please don't miss it. Number 21 is that love, unconditional, unshakable love, will always win. Show your child, show that person love, unconditional love. Don't forget that these children cannot return our love. You take care of them. Some of them are not even potty trained. Some of them cannot talk. Some of them you have to keep cleaning after them. Some of them are totally dependent on their caregiver. So what I'm saying is that whatever it is, show unconditional love. Just show that unconditional love. Number 22 is that, look, with God, that situation, everything will end well. We may not understand how. I'm going to give, as I come on this platform to share my experience, to give my testimonies, because this is practical. Hi, Oluwatoni. Thank you so much. Welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Please, once again, if this getting value from here, please subscribe, like, share as well. Let us help other families, other siblings, other parents who have children with special needs. And I say this, that I'm going to give my testimony, because of our son, so many times I had to leave work. I had to leave work at different times. And then when I became 50, I said to myself, God, you made me for a purpose. There is something about me. I've always had this desire to do this. And, thinking that at 50, how will I be able to do it? But at 50 was when God showed up. And the particular thing that I had always desired growing up as a child, it was when I became 50 that God just gave it to me, and it came on a platter of gold. So what I'm saying is that no matter what, God is always there. No matter what, God's grace is always sufficient. And the final lesson is that always speak life over your child. Every day. Speak life. Speak words to them. The words that we speak, the Bible says that, it can either bring death or it brings life. Speak life. There are affirmations that I speak over my child every day. Oluwatoni, you are the best. Oluwatoni, you will bring out the glory of God. Oluwatoni, you will fulfill your purpose. You will fulfill your destiny. These are words of life that we have to keep repeating and speaking over our children every day. So this is our story. This is my story. has been a journey of faith. It has been a journey of growth, and it has been a journey of unending love. These are the things that 23 years has taught me concerning being a mother with a special needs child. So I want to round up by saying that, look, life will not always go the way you planned it. But if you are able to just say, God, no matter what it is, I give everything to you. I want to say this, that every season has its beauty. Even with that child with special needs, every season has its beauty. Every step, every day has its purpose. And every prayer, its answer. It may not be answered the way you have prayed, but it has an answer. And God will always give you the answer. So sometimes, things happen in ways that you do not expect. But I want to encourage you, keep trusting God, keep loving that child, keep believing, one day at a time. So once again, I want to say a very big thank you to Isagi B2022F. Thank you, Oluwatoni, and others who will be watching this video afterwards. Thank you so much. God bless you. I know it's not an easy Raum. Oh, thank you so much. Love. Thank you. I love you too. So please, once again, don't forget to like, to share, and above all, subscribe. Help to build this platform. My aim is to help families, mothers, caretakers to navigate this journey. So it's all about sharing experience, building a community together. So thank you. Until the next time, God bless you and be strong. Remember, you are not alone. Bye.